to, well, 9 minutes to 8 o'clock, and welcome back once again with Ross. We're going to be giving you a bit of a rundown through the standings and stuff, and then obviously the guys will get into qualifying around about 8 o'clock. So yeah, Ross will be staying with us for the obviously for qualifying.
Indeed. So a little bit of a change for qualifying this week because Aero GT actually moved up into the top 5 of the standings last week, and they replaced V2. V2 have usually actually raced in Lobby A most of the time. Eroticos has been in Lobby B the last couple of weeks though, and yeah, they've just and Skyline, I think, who disconnected. But
that's right.
Yeah, that was enough to drop them down. So
he had an issue with his wheel, didn't he? I think he had mechanical issues or something. I think his wheel was disconnecting or something. So
that's right.
It
wasn't an internet thing. It was a wheel thing. But he's not racing today for V2. It's going to be Mortal, who's a tier 1 driver, Snipes, who's been incredibly quick, especially in qualifying. So expecting him to get into Lobby A. And Kanata, who is in the running for the Tier 3 championship at the moment.
Excellent stuff. So obviously we're currently in free practice before qualifying. It looks like Fluffy Butt, he's on a bit of a charge again this week in the Alfa Romeo. He was doing some good times in that last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's been pretty quick the last couple of weeks actually, Fluffy Butt, one of the stars of Lobby B. He just missed out on getting into Lobby A last week.
That's right, but that's Whisker.
At the same time as P15, but he ended up in P16. And yeah, I think he did an extra stop last week, and that kind of ruined his charge for a podium.
That's right. And I think he ran out of fuel as well. I think he made an error on fueling. Was it Fluffy Butt that ran out of fuel towards the end? I can't quite remember.
I can't remember.
I think it was Fluffy Butt. No, Patch was in chat, wasn't he? So it wasn't Patch. Yeah, I think it was Fluffy Butt. I'm sure it was Fluffy Butt. I digress. So Patch is here this week. Obviously, he was with us the previous 2 weeks, I think it was, in the chat. I think maybe having a bit of a break or something, was he?
Yeah, I think he took last week off. Yeah, you're right. And I think he might have had a podium earlier in the season in Lobby B, so he's definitely got the pace. Hasn't made it into Lobby A yet.
Okay. Oh, so Anthony said, yeah, it was Fluffy Butt. Yeah, I did think it was Fluffy Butt. In fact, I think there was another, I'm sure I remember seeing another driver that ran out of fuel almost on the approach to the line as well. But yeah, it'd be interesting coming into this one. Obviously, I think with the half tank of fuel at the start of the race. Hello, Wyoff 23, welcome on board, mate. Yeah, obviously with a half tank of fuel at the start of the race, that definitely throws some strategies into play, doesn't it? Obviously, the cars sort of different consumptions between them.
Yeah, definitely. And Fuji has a fairly high tyre wear. So I'm wondering if everyone's going to be able to do the 2-stop again, or if anyone's going to try a 3-stop.
That's right.
Car. But also, since the physics update, I've noticed some people really struggle on their tyres now, because what they did in the physics update was make trail braking much more hard on the tyres. Okay. So they want you to be turning without applying the brakes at all to preserve the tyre life nowadays. And some people are finding it difficult to adjust to that, and it's having a huge impact on their tyre wear. I think maybe tier 1 drivers have figured it out, but lower down they're definitely struggling a little bit.
Okay, so yeah, definitely going to be an interesting one. And I think it is quite high fuel as well, isn't it, with the long straight down there. I think they're probably going to be almost maxing out before they break for turn 1.
Yep, such a long straight, this one. Definitely the longest that we've had on the calendar so far. Probably the longest apart from Le Mans as well at the end of the season. So that should favour the Toyota GR Supras on that straight, which what all of the Pegasus boys that we're looking at are driving this season.
They are quick in a fast line, aren't they?
Yeah, so that they might get a bit of an advantage on the BMWs around here. And then the other one, the Mazdas, might be on a bit of a charge. They've struggled a little bit on some of those more slower, twisty tracks, but this should suit them a little bit better.
I think Sobolewski, Is that how I say his name? I think he's a new driver this evening, is it?
He is Snipes, I'm pretty sure. That's
Okay,
his
that's
name.
Snipes.
Yes, you can call him Snipes. Might be a bit easier.
10-4. I'm trying to see who. Yeah, so we've got all the usual faces, I believe. So we've got Fluffy Butt, we got Hollywood, we have Pasty, Chris, Burnsy Poo, Kanata, Pung, we got Sobolewski or Snipes, we got Kenny, Mort Veloz, Auto Ration, Patch, Emzine. So we're waiting for 2 more drivers? Or is it only 40? Oh, no, somebody else. Oh, there's Ahmed. Ahmed's just come in.
Ahmed is a last-minute substitute for Team Falcon because Reaper had internet issues, so that's quite a good substitution. He's probably not got much practice, but you could still get into Lobby A. Incredibly quick driver is Ahmed.
Yes, he is. He's been absolutely rapid. Yeah, very, very fast guy. Emzine. Why is Emzine here? Also
Emzine, okay, so, this was the other thing. So, Helix, the team that are leading the championship, are also the first team to get a qualifying ban. So what that means in esports is they have to nominate 1 driver to serve that qualifying ban, which means they're starting in last place in Lobby B for the race. So that person that they've nominated is Emzine, who actually won last week. But he won from a lot higher up on the grid.
Right. So he'll be in Lobby B this week, is that?
Yeah, so he's probably just joined early.
Okie dokie. And look at the time that Sobolewski's just put in. That's 1:37.9.
Yeah, that is quick enough for Lobby A, that's for sure. 37s, I think you are definitely in Lobby A for this race. Maybe even a low 38, maybe up to a 38.3 is maybe what my prediction would be.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Well, Fluffy Butt's looking like he may be possibly in Room 1 as well this week. Pasty on a 1:38.5, so that's... Oh, in fact, Fluffy Butt also on a 1:38. Pasty getting the slipstream down the straight. So we're now approaching 8 o'clock, so I believe we'll get the reset and quality will start shortly.
I think we might be starting fairly soon.
So what are tables looking like this week, Ross?
So, let me tell you. So at the top is still Helix. They've got quite a big lead, but they had a bit of a nightmare. They didn't get all 3 drivers into Lobby A last week, and one of their drivers disconnected, so only scored 5 points from Lobby A, their quickest driver. Excuse me as well. So they've got 172. On 148 is Project Platypus. So that is, they've got Perry and Big Beaver and Lord Asseldor racing for them tonight. I'm, to be honest, expecting all 3 to get into Lobby A. Then FGR are 11 points behind them. They are the team that have won the first 2 races. Looks like we're starting soon. And then Arix actually won last week in Lobby A, and they are in 4th place. But so those 4 have kind of broke away, and then we've got Aero, GT, and V2 together on 76 and 72 points in that battle for the last spot in the top 5. And we got It's all fairly close together in terms of points. So yeah, any one of them could end up moving up into P7 in the standings at least today with a good result.
Awesome stuff. I think we're definitely going to see some brilliant racing once again. Hopefully we won't have any abrupt endings to the stream as there was in the GT7 Championship last week. That was definitely some weird shenanigans were going on. In fact, I think throughout the actual stream itself, I think there was a couple of weird hiccups here and there until the final thingy. But here we are. We're coming into qualifying now. So who is Auto Ration, isn't it? Who is hosting?
Yep, he's the host. So is he getting host privilege? Looks like it.
Yeah. So So I think turn 1 may throw up some shenanigans on lap 1. Obviously, people jostling for positions as they come down the start-finish. It's going to be a tight one, isn't it?
Yeah, lap 1, I actually started on pole position in Tier 3 around here a long time ago and got wiped out in turn 1 because it's such a tight braking zone, such a really slow hairpin to take when you're going such a at such a pace. Basically, it's very easy for one of the multiple drivers behind to get it wrong. So hopefully we don't see that in this race. These guys are all the best of the best.
That's right. It's all too easy, isn't it? When you've got cars on your inside and outside, if you get stuck on the outside there, you can drift out onto the marbles, and it's a dangerous place to be.
Oh yeah, and it's really easy to do in this track as well. You've got a few really long sweeping corners just like this one that we're going around right now. If you get your entry wrong and you're just wide throughout the whole corner, you can lose half a second very easily.
That's right. I think it's definitely this final sector here is going to be the one that's going to be eating away at the tyres for sure. A lot of weird cambered corners.
Yeah. So very long out lap there. Otto finally starting his hot lap now. He's in the Renault, which really struggles for top speed. So I'm expecting him to be losing time as we head into turn 1 compared to the other cars, and he'll be spending the rest of the lap trying to catch it up. Otto has raced in Lobby B every time he's raced in Esports so far, so he's trying to get into Lobby A for the first time today.
Let's see what he can do. This right-hander here can sometimes catch you out. You want to sort of try and keep as much speed as you can, but there you see drifting a little bit wide. Manages to hook it back up again. And
yeah, the Renault's got great grip on it, so yeah, I think probably because it's an MR car, but it manages to handle those corners pretty well.
Yeah, he's looking pretty smooth at the moment.
Yeah, going into this difficult section at the end, quite low speed compared to the rest of the track. Having to go down into first gear to take that first part of this, I guess you could call it a chicane, and then you speed up a little bit to the next corner. Dab the brakes very tightly to make the apex. Oh, but Otto loses a bit of traction on the exit there. Yeah, so might not be one of his better laps this one.
He's going to come around the final turn now.
Yeah, really tricky. That's probably the most difficult corner on the track because you're taking it at a camber, which means you have to take quite a wide entry in, and if you get it wrong, you just go really deep and lose loads of time as you enter the straight.
There's a 1:39.1.
Okay, he has a lot of time to find that.
1:39.4. Ahmed straight to the top of the board for 1:38.5. Oh, and in Hollywood, Snipes 1:37.9.
Yeah, so the first man into the 37s, we're expecting to see a lot of 37s in qualifying across the two lobbies. Really good opening laps for Fluffy Bud and Hollywood though. Really a lot improved for them, so they're about half a second behind Snipes, but Snipes is definitely one of the quickest drivers in both of the lobbies, so it doesn't come as too much of a surprise there.
Wow. So yeah, Snipes straight up into P1. Obviously, this won't confirm the starting standings or the starting positions for the race. We'll have a bit of a shuffle before the main feature.
I am having a pre-race ice cream now.
Who's having a pre-race ice cream now? Oh my god, what? We meant to sack Robot Lady off and she's gone on the mad one again.
I love Robot Lady.
Do you think we should keep her?
Yeah, you should. She just like chimes in at the worst moments, but it's quite funny.
Yeah, I think she's had a bit to drink tonight. Robot Lady, yeah, she does. She does MC Robot Lady lag. So, looking at this, obviously Snipes will probably be in Lobby A. So Fluffy Butt maybe on pole. Hollywood currently provisional second, maybe. GT Ahmed third.
Yep.
Pasty fourth. Pump Patch sixth. That's a decent time there for Patch, 38.9. I think he can improve there. Is he going to improve this time? And he doesn't.
Yeah, they need to find a good half a second. Need to be in the second. Wow.
Pasty. I think that might be the slipstream. Maybe he was getting on the approach to the start finish there.
38.3. So that's what I thought the cutoff was going to be, anyway. 38.3. So Pasty set the benchmark, I reckon, for getting into Lobby A. So it depends on how many of these drivers can respond. He's only just slightly ahead of Fluffy Butt, so Fluffy Butt might have it in him, Hollywood might have it in him. Ahmed surely has a lot more time in him as well, even though he's literally just picked up his controller.
Yeah, there's only 800s in it at the moment. That's incredible stuff. And actually Hollywood as well, look at that, 200s between Fluffy Butt and Hollywood.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Ahmed.
And Ahmed as well.
Ahmed as well, very close indeed. Pung is the first person, 3 tenths off of Ahmed. Still very close there.
Yeah, improved qualifying so far from Pung up in the top 6.
Between Pung, Pumpkin, Patch and Auto-Ration, look at that. That's pretty insane.
So it's like Mortal, by the way, has gone fastest. So that's another V2 driver. So it's a V2 1-2 at the moment. Mortal, we knew had time in him. He was really low down, so probably just didn't get a lap in previously. But 37.9 should be enough for Lobby A as well for Mortal there.
See, I think we were touching on the straight line speeds between the M6 and the Supra, but at the moment it's looking like the M6 is no slouch. I think
both
maybe
the top two are in the M6,
speed, though.
so that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, carrying the speed through the corners maybe a little bit more than the Supras, perhaps. The Supra does feel a little bit of a big, cumbersome car. I mean, the M6 is a big, cumbersome car, but it feels a lot more nimble. Yes. I always found that anyway.
So the fastest time in Lobby A, for reference, is a 37.1. So that's 8 tenths quicker than how Mortal's gone.
Wow. That is fast.
Still plenty of time in it for all these guys. A lot of them I saw went into the pit lane as well on lap 3, so they're going for a glory run at the end on fresher tyres.
For sure. Do you think we could see a 36 from Lobby A? Or is that a big ask?
Potentially.
Because whoever it is, if they're into a 37.1, theoretically, if they get that lap hooked up, unless it is their ultimate lap.
No, well, Super GT's not on pole, and he's usually the guy that's the quickest, so I'm expecting a faster lap in Lobby A at some point. Let's wait and see. So Mortal set another time, a 38.2, which is still very quick, but around about 3 tenths down on his previous best. Snipes in the final sector now as well. Looks like there's a lot of traffic. Every car's on the same in the same sector. It looks like.
Yeah, so we're slowly approaching the 9th minute now of qualifying. Obviously, only a 10-minute qualifier. So I think we see a lot of guys. I think everybody's actually out on track, aren't they? There's a couple of cars in the pits. Maybe they'll make a last-ditch attempt.
Auto up into 5th place now as well. That's pretty decent for him. 37.8 for Snipes, so that is even quicker than Mortal by a 10th.
So he was on the lap there. We went on board with him. I thought he may have been on the lap. Pung pulled over to the inside there. I think he's finished.
He must be. Yeah, he's not got enough time if he's lost all of it. So it's up to Mortal to see if he can respond.
And he is. Yeah, he's coming through the final sector now as well. Into the last minute of qualifying. So it's probably the last lap.
This is probably his last
lap. Any other guys will get to do, yeah.
Probably a little bit too far away.
I didn't see what he was for that last split. What can Mortal do? Can he manage to knock Snipes off of that top spot? And he was actually 3 tenths down on his time there. And it's looking like everybody else.
Yeah, Auto looked like he's just finished his lap as well, so he looks like he might be 5th. Oh, he might have actually got that final lap in.
Oh, Pasty there in 4th. Auto.
Yeah, he's gone into the pits. 5th. Chris is he's qualified into Lobby A the last 2 weeks, so he needs to improve if he's going to be doing that
It's
again.
looking like he might be on a lap. Patch behind him as well, possibly improving. And he doesn't. 9 tenths down. Ahmed currently 8th. Is he going to improve this time round?
As well.
Is he slowing down? Oh no, he does improve. Up to 3rd. Go on, Ahmed.
Hey, that was good. So that's probably enough to get him in Lobby A as well, but we'll have to see. Getting towards the cut-off point, I reckon.
Well, that was some fire times there, wasn't it, from the top 3?
Yeah, they really came down towards the end. So, what is it, 37.8 is the fastest?
Yeah, so 37.8 from Snipes. We had a 37.933 from Mortal Veloz. GT Ahmed, 38.173. And then Fluffy Butt, 38.275. Pasty, I can't see his time. So Auto in 6th place with a 38.4. PBR Chris on a 38.488. So that's literally 800ths between Auto and Chris. And then only 100th between Chris and Hollywood. And a 10th between separating Hollywood and Pung, who's also in the pits. We got Kanata on a 38.636. Patch is on a 38.8. And then the rest of the guys also in the pits.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll get the things up after.
Yeah, we'll get the results up and figure everything out.
That's the word I was searching for. The brain's still buffering.
Well, it looks like your internet's done well, though.
Yeah, no, it seems to be alright at the moment.
Your stream's actually coming through clearer for me on screen as well, with the share screen, than it was the last couple of times.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, it's good to know. Like I say, I don't think it was the internet so much. I think it was going back a couple of weeks ago, but I think last week the issue was definitely the software update that PS5 had pushed out. I don't know if anyone else has experienced it, but yeah, I had to, like I say, do the cache delete or whatever, and then rebuild the database, and fingers crossed things will be okay.
So
here's the results.
Let's just write all these down dead quick.
So obviously, if any of you guys are first-time viewers, it's your boy Vex there with Ross Form from the Aero League Racing's Esports series. This is round 4. Obviously, this week we're at Fuji International Speedway. So we have a bit of a shuffle in between the lobbies. Obviously, some of the faster guys from this lobby will move up into Lobby A, and then some of the guys that didn't quite get the times in Lobby A will come down to Lobby B. And then we'll get the main feature in.
Okay, can we do the next screen?
How many laps is it this week, Ross?
Oh,
we'll see it anyway.
I think it's like 46. I think it's 46. I tried to add them up dead quick, but math is hard, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, definitely when you're put on the spot.
Oh, that's disappointing for Pumpkin Patch, down in 11th.
Yeah, Patch. That's maybe he's not been getting the practice, and I'm not sure. Still in the 38s though. It's a very, very, very firm lobby indeed. There's only 2 people in the 39s, and obviously Emzine on a quali ban at the bottom there. So
yeah. Okay, I'll write down Lobby A's now because they've just finished as well.
So Craig says 45 laps. Javi, go on, Javi.
Yeah, beating Super GT. That's really impressive, actually.
He
won last week as well, so he's on form at the moment.
And that I think it was in the sprint race. The photo finish between him and Viking Dog. Oh my gosh, it was intense. Like, Because he was in third, wasn't he, and then managed to pip second, like pretty much right on the line. It's great.
Nice.
Hmm.
It's a shame Javi missed the second round of Tier 1.
Yeah, it's hurt him at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I think he'll be
But
able to come
you
back
could
though.
catch up maybe.
He's still got some races to go, so I think he'll be able to come back if he keeps his head down for sure. That Lamborghini's looking, it's looking rapid. It used to be a bit of an animal in previous thingies, but perhaps the latest patches they've brought it to life. Same with the Audi R8. I'm surprised that Iggy's been doing so well in the Audi, because that used to be
good, yeah.
It was a dog. It was an absolute dog when we first came onto GT7. Like, it was almost undrivable. But I loved it on Sport. I actually won a season on Sport in the R8.
I wish I was around for GT Sport.
Oh, so you didn't?
Didn't even play until GT7 came out, and then I bought it when it first came out, and
Wow.
ended up loving it. So
Awesome. That's pretty cool.
So it looks like Ahmed just misses out on he's the guy on pole position.
Okay.
Ahead of Fluffy Butt, Pasty, Auto, Chris, and Pung. Lobby A, looks like Mortal qualified 11th, Snipes qualified 8th in Lobby A.
8.
They're the only two to move up.
Wow.
Right, let me share these. Someone will tell me I've got one of the times wrong, because that's happened every single week. So I'll wait for that.
Yeah, so to the viewers, obviously we're just waiting for the confirmations of obviously the times from the other lobby, so we can work out who's getting switched around. It doesn't normally take too long.
I've sent it.
Turn that on.
So joining Lobby B will be Hurricane. He'll be starting it in 10th place for Aero GT, and is that it? It might actually be just and Mzine, obviously, who had his quality ban to serve.
Oh wow, we're up to 17 viewers.
Yeah,
Welcome along, guys.
Well. Okay, right. So I think that's everything sorted, and then Auto just needs to set the grid. So I'm gonna head over to Pyro's party now.
Yeah, no worries, Ross. Nice to have you along again, obviously, and we'll see you again next time.
Yes.
Same time
have a
next
good
week.
one.
And you. Right, so how do I stop? No, I don't want to do that. I want to... Guys, help. Leave party, there we go. It's all good, it's all good. We've got things sorted. So, obviously, we have got a few guys coming in now. The room is being prepared. I think, obviously, Autorotion's now going to have to set the grid manually. Once everybody's ticked in. Aside from myself. And then they'll be able to set the grid. But we saw Ahmed will be starting on pole. Oh, Ahmed's just left the room. Now we've got Emzine's just left the room. He said, "Be right back." No, he's actually still there though. He's up on the top of the tables on the right hand side. Bear with us, guys. Racing will start shortly. Oh, Pasty's now off for a toilet break. I'll see if we can. Have we got any cars on track at the moment? So we do have some cars on track at the moment. We'll leave you on board with. Yeah, we'll leave you on board with Chris for a minute. He's putting in some laps. Trying to get a little bit of extra practice. Ahmed has rejoined. So Auto, I'm going to, once you've set the grid, obviously I'll give a quick rundown through the starting positions. So in fact I'm going to have to come out and... Have we got everybody in yet? Emzine's back. Okay, so I think we are now looking at what will be the starting grid for the feature race. So we've got Ahmed starting up on pole. We have Fluffy Butt in second place. Pasty will start in third. Auto Ration in fourth. Chris in fifth. Hollywood sixth. Pung in seventh. We've got Kanata starting in eighth. Patch in ninth. Burnsy Poo in 10th place. We've got Hurricane in 11th. Kenny is in 12th. And Emzine will start in 13th position. So we'll get primed and ready.
I need to be hold on.
Auto's just said he needs to pee, hold on. Well, you're the host, dude. So who's been sandbagging through qualifying? Who's gonna put all the cards on the table when it comes to the race? Who's gonna run out of fuel? Is anybody going to... well, yeah, I think Pasty's now back, but Auto Ration's now gone for a toilet break. Ahmed there with 38.4. I think we're going to see some good things from the M6 tonight. It does definitely look like one of the faster cars around this track, around Mount Fuji. But I do think the Superboys are definitely going to be ones to watch as well. The Porsche's a fast car, but it can be very hard on the tyres. Oh, Pasty just losing the rear end there. And here we go, this is it. This is the start of the feature race. We're going to wait for the lights and the klaxon. Ahmed lines up on pole. We got Fluffy Butt in the mix there as well in the Alpha. And they're off. Auto Ration going to make moves early. He was trying to have a look up the inside there, Fluffy Butt. He's shut the door though. He's trying to look up the inside now of Ahmed. A little bit of contact between them two. Oh, there's definitely some door rubbing going on in the background there. Some people getting shuffled off the track. So Fluffy Butt has managed to take the lead in that Alfa Romeo. Ahmed drops down to second place. Got Auto there in the mix in third place. We have Kanata now in fourth. Pung is there in fifth. We've got Pasty in sixth. Chris is in seventh. We've got Hollywood in eighth. Kenny's in ninth. Hurricane 10th. MZ in 11th. Wesley in 12th place. Oh, and Hurricane has just lost that position now to MZ. But now Hurricane retakes it, does he? On the outside, on the inside. Then we have Patch down there in the background. I think Patch went off there. And Burnsy Poo now 5.6 seconds off the rest of the field. So Fluffy Butts, he still maintains that lead at the moment. He got a little bit greedy there on the apex. It looked like he was going to unsettle the car. He managed to collect it though. Hasn't picked up a penalty either, so he's got to try and keep it nice and consistent through this next couple of sectors. He started to pull away a little bit from Ahmed. Ahmed will surely get back into that window though. He should close that gap once again as they come down the start-finish straight. I don't think the Alfa Romeo is too fast on the straights. What it does lack in straight line speed though, it does make up through the corners as you have seen. And here we go now. So Ahmed is chasing him down. Look back towards Kanata there. So yeah, Ahmed does close that gap once again, right that up to 8 tenths from 1.2 seconds. Kanata not too far behind as well though. Kanata wants a bit of the action as well. He's in another M6. I don't think Kanata and Ahmed are teammates though. I think they're in different teams. Oh, and we've got a little battle forming in the background there. Pasty and Auto. Auto is under attack now from Pasty. Pasty looking around the outside now. Auto's going to hold that inside line. He's also got Hollywood. Hollywood starting to creep up there as well. Pasty's managed to get it done around the outside. Auto was a little bit of a sitting duck there in the Renault. The Porsche just a little bit too much for it, as Auto has now got Hollywood bearing down them as well. Hollywood in the GR Supra, followed by the AMG GT3 of Kenny. Then we have Emzine there in 9th place. Emzine looking like he was going to have a cheeky one up the inside of Kenny there, but thought better of it. So Kenny will hold that position for the meantime as Auto Ration looking like he's going to lose that position now to Hollywood. Hollywood was having nibbles. He was looking for the overtake, didn't quite get it done. So Kenny's there. We have Emzine in 9th place. Wesley now in 10th. We've got Chris in 11th place. Under attack from Hurricane, but he has got Pumpkin Patch there as well. And Burnsy Poo down in 14. I think have we lost the driver. Did we start with 14? I think we may have started with 14 guys this week. Hurricane looking for the move up the inside there. Chris was a little bit compromised. He did lose that position. Hurricane now looking to try and take that position away from Wesley. So this battle at the back here really starting to heat up as well. As Emzine looking for the move now on Auto. Auto has lost that position to Hollywood. Hollywood now up to 6th place. He's free now to chase down Pasty, who's trying to get past Pung. Pung doing really well to hold on to that 4th position. See a lot of purple cars on the track tonight. South African boys representing. So the battle at the front has calmed down somewhat. Fluffy Butt still has that lead over Ahmed. There's a bit of a gap now between Ahmed and Kanata. We will go on board with them 3 guys very shortly. Look, you can see it there. Just see it in shot going down the start finish. But this is the battle here for 4th place at the moment. Pasty is chasing down Pung. Pung is going to have to start throwing up some of them defensive shapes, isn't he? But will Pasty be brave enough to try one up the inside? We've also got Hollywood in the mixer as well. Hollywood actually trying to have a look up the inside there. Wasn't quite close enough. He does think about it again, thinks about having a cheeky one up the inside, but there wasn't really enough room to get it done. Just trying to put Pung under a bit of pressure now. Maybe force him into some kind of an error. Oh, and in fact, it looks like Ahmed up ahead. Ahmed is right onto the back of Fluffy Butt once again. He's actually got the fastest lap now. Fastest guy on track for 1:38.428. He managed to put that car on pole. Fluffy Butt doing a grand job at the moment of holding that 1st place. Them front tyres starting to take a little bit of a battering now though. Is Ahmed going to be close enough this time round as we approach turn 1? Daichi. Not that time round. I think he's just going to maintain this momentum through the remainder of this lap, for the duration of this lap. Very, very close indeed between these 2 guys at the front. They've actually pulled out a 2.3 second lead over Kanata behind in 3rd place. Kanata in no trouble from the rest of the field at the moment. He's got a nice buffer of 2.2 seconds. And Pung still holding that 4th place from Hollywood and Pasty. Emzine also in the mix there in 7th. So 4th to 7th in a little bit of a train at the moment. Ahmed still trying to attack. He doesn't really need to, does he? The race is... Wow, the race is going to be won, isn't it? Surely, on strategy. Doing really well though. I think that's maybe his strategy. He's trying to put Fluffy Butt under a bit of pressure, but not take the position. So Fluffy Butt has to push to try and break away. But he's just going to hurt his tyres and fuel consumption doing it. This might be a clever strategy on display from Ahmed at the moment. Oh, and in fact, Ahmed now looking for the move up the inside. Fluffy Butt's going to have the inside for this next one. Oh, there's a tiny bit of contact there. Fluffy Butt keeps the position for the minute. Ahmed, would he challenge him on the approach down to this next hard-braking zone? Into Dunlop. Not quite close enough on that occasion. This fighting has brought that gap down now back to Kanata. Maybe Kanata, he's going to start to push as he senses these two up ahead having a squabble. And as you can see, Fluffy Butt's tyres are starting to die a bit of a death now. They're looking very second hand. He's definitely going to be feeling that front left-hand tyre. Almost at the halfway mark. The rest of them actually not too bad. So Fluffy Butt pulls over to try and break the toe, coming down the start-finish. Ahmed's having none of it. Oh, and there's a cheeky move up the inside, Ahmed! Ahmed gets it done, what a move! Later on the brakes. Managed to get it done up the inside, no contact. Fluffy Butt, not really anything he could do there. I don't think he had the tyre grip to be able to look at the difference in tyres. In fact, Fluffy Butt now looking like he's in trouble. He looks like he may lose that position to Kanata. Kanata now on a bit of a charge. He can sense it. In fact, the BMWs definitely look better on tyres, don't they, than the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo looking like it's struggling a little bit with that front left. You'd think it would be in the lighter car, it would be a lot less detrimental on the tyres, but Kanata, he's getting whiffs of it now, and he whiffs of Fluffy Butt's exhaust. Fluffy Butt goes a little bit wide there. Will he pick up a penalty? Not that time. Come on, Fluffy Butt. What's he going to do? What's his strategy going to be? Ahmed, it looks like he's definitely got the top. Oh, Ahmed into the pits. Is he? No, he's not. He faked it. He faked a dummy. It looked like he was going to go in the pits, but he stayed out. I think he thought he was going to try and start a chain reaction of people pitting behind him, trying to go for the undercut, but both cars behind running a little bit wide through turn one. Fluffy Butt definitely under some pressure now from Kanata. Oh, Kanata goes for the move around the outside. Fluffy Butt holds the inside line. Can he get it done this time round? Oh, still side by side. Kanata will surely... Yeah, and he does. But Fluffy Butt still tries to come back around the outside there. I don't think he's got the tyre grip though. Oh, no. He definitely had the better run out of the corner, straight into the back of Kanata. And again, oh, that was a bit... Oh, yeah, Fluffy Butt let him retake that position, but now he's lost the position to MZ. MZ out of nowhere. He's now 8 tenths off the back of Kanata. Meanwhile, Ahmed, he can stretch his legs now. He's got a 3.7 second gap over the rest of the field. Kanata there in second place, now being chased down by MZ. MZ out of nowhere. Oh, MZ, he's going to look for a move. It looked like he was going to. What's Emzine got? He's in the RX Vision, so it's RX Vision now versus the BMW M6. Kanata's going to make that M6 as wide as he possibly can. Emzine looking for the move, maybe around the outside. No, but he's going for the switchback now. Will he get it done around the outside, around this sweeping right-hand bend? Emzine actually with the fastest lap currently as well. He managed to beat Ahmed's lap. He's now got a 38.092. Kanata getting a little bit bullied at the moment. He has lost that position. So Emzine now up into second place, but he has got a 4.7 second deficit up the road to Ahmed. Ahmed sitting pretty at the moment in that beautiful BMW M6. That is a lovely livery, isn't it? So then we have Emzine now up into second place, Kanata down to third, Fluffy Butt all the way down to fourth place now. What can he do? Can he come back into this one in that little Alfa Romeo? Then we have Hollywood behind the GR Supra in fifth place now, 3.1 seconds off the back of Fluffy Butt. We have Pung. Oh, Pasty! Pasty's making a dash for the pits. Pasty will be the first person to enter the pits, it looks like. Yeah, he's definitely in there. Where will he come out? So Pung, they're in sixth place, followed by Wesley in seventh. So Wesley now up to seventh place. He was down around 10th, I think, last time we saw him. Kenny up to 8th. Hurricane is there in 9th. Patch all over the back of him now, though, in 10th place. Come on, Patch. Patch looking for the move now. I think he's been sizing it up for a couple of laps. We saw a bit of a battle happening earlier. I think Pasty also involved. We're now on lap 10 of 45. Oh, Patch. He thought about it then, didn't he? Definitely looked like he had the better cornering speed there. Auto-Ration now in 11th place. Chris is in 12th. 3 seconds off the back of Auto-Ration. We have Burnsy Boo in 13th place. And Pasty now down in 14th. But he has just pit. He's taken a full tank of fuel and a fresh set of mediums. I'm not sure how far he's going to get him into the race. We're now on board with Ahmed. And Kanata now dives into the pit, so Fluffy Butt up to third place once again. Pung now up to fourth. And a few of the guys are now diving into the pits, so we're going to see some of the guys going for undercuts. Ahmed, he's trying to extend the stint as long as he can at the moment. He's really looked after his tyres well. Will he get another lap or two out of that tank of fuel though? I think he's probably going to come in the end of this lap. But he's now got a 4.2 second lead. The closest man to him at the moment is Emzine, who's now got a 7 second lead over Fluffy Butt, who's down in third place. Emzine was obviously on a qualifying ban from something that happened last week. I'm not sure what it was. Some of you guys will probably know if you read the stewards reports and such. So yeah, he's quick enough to do it, isn't he? He should definitely be up in lobby A, you would assume. And he is starting to cut into that gap now to Ahmed. It was 4.2 seconds last time we checked. It's now 3.8. And Ahmed has stayed out for another lap. as has Fluffy Butt. So he's obviously don't feel too bad on them tyres, even though they do look pretty warm at the moment. Doing really good though in the Alpha. Fair play. Then we have Kenny in 4th place. Still yet to pit in the Mercedes AMG. We haven't seen a lot of the AMG so far in the esports this season. Porto. So Ahmed, he didn't quite make the cut for Lobby A this week, but he started on pole for Lobby B. So Kenny now under some pressure from Hurricane. Hurricane looking to try and take that 4th place away. All of these guys still yet to pit though, and he does it. He goes for the move up the inside. Kenny tries to fight back, but he's not going to be able to get it done there. He's going to have to wait for his moment, but he's now under pressure from Patch. There was actually a bit of contact there. A little nudge wide. Patch moves up into 5th. Kenny drops to 6th. I think all these guys are probably going to head to the pits now. In fact, I thought Ahmed was going to come in, but Ahmed stayed out. We got to get on board, and so yeah, Fluffy Butt's now in. I think Hurricane maybe is going to stay out. How is Ahmed going to finish this lap? And Patch has stayed out as well. Patch is looking like he may have enough fuel. I'm not sure Ahmed's got enough fuel. Has he got enough fuel to finish the lap? Currently with a 22.8 second gap. He's going for it, isn't he? He's going for the magical gap. What can he do? Come on, Ahmed. If he manages to pit and still comes out in 1st place, like, that'll be, you know, the ultimate strategy. He's trying to do a Verstappen. He's got to pit this time round, hasn't he? Yeah, he's definitely 100% in the pits this time round. Patch will surely have to pit as well, as will Auto and Chris. So the next closest person is going to be Emzine, and he's 39.4 seconds off the back of Ahmed. I think Ahmed's done it. I think Ahmed's he's got that strategy to a point. Chris has stayed out, but Chris will have to pit on the next lap, so he will move up into 1st place momentarily. And here comes Ahmed now. Here he comes out into 2nd place, only 2.2 seconds off the back of Chris. Where's Emzine? Emzine's 2.8 seconds off the back of Ahmed. He's going to have to warm the tyres though. Ahmed's going to have to wait a lap or two. I think it takes about a lap now, doesn't it, for the tyres to start really actually starting to get to work. So is that going to hurt him on this out lap? He hasn't got to worry about Chris up ahead. Chris will be pitting this lap. Ahmed now on a fresh set of mediums. He's got more fuel on board than Emzine as well. I mean, Emzine obviously pitted a lap or two earlier, didn't he? So but look how quickly Emzine is bringing that gap down. I'm not sure if he's going to have to pit again though. think the Mazda RX Vision is quite heavy on the fuel with that Wankel engine. So Ahmed back up into first place, 1.4 seconds. Now is the gap back to Emzine. You see Chris dropping down the order now. So Emzine's there with a 2.1 second buffer back to Kanata. Kanata, who has proven a formidable opponent in them earlier laps. Then we have Hollywood in 4th place, Wesley in 5th. We've got Fluffy Butt down to 6th now. How did Fluffy Butt end up in 6th? We got Pasty now in 7th. Pung is in 8th. We got Patch in 9th place. Hurricane is in 10th. We have Auto Ration in 11th. Kenny in 12th. Burnsy Poo in 13th. And Chris now in 14th. So Ahmed still trying to keep that gap back to Emzine there, trying to keep him at bay. It's going to be a tricky one though, isn't it? What can Ahmed do in that M6? It's surely going to be faster along the straights than the RX Vision. About nearly 170 mile an hour there for Emzine before having to brake for turn 1. But the M6 does seem a little bit nimbler through the corners, but Emzine getting a really good drive there. Out of that turn. Ahmed doing everything he can to keep Emzine at bay. Emzine not quite into the slipstream range as yet, but will he be as they come onto the start finish? Through the final turn. And then uphill cambered. Very weird turn, that final turn. All too easy to break the traction on the rears. So Emzine now on a bit of a charge. He's got Ahmed in his sights up ahead. Oh no, Emzine almost loses the rear through turn 1 there. That's allowed Ahmed a bit of breathing space now. The gap back up to 1.1 seconds. Definitely looks a little bit floaty, doesn't it, the RX Vision? But he's got a nice 3.2 gap over Kanata. Also in an M6. He was now trying to keep Hollywood at bay. Hollywood starting to creep up there in that GR Supra. That gap was considerably closer before, or considerably larger before. It's getting close enough to maybe make Kanata start to feel a little bit uncomfortable. I think Hollywood has taken on less fuel though. I think he's going to be going for a 2-stop for sure. I think some of the guys may be trying to do a wanna Ahmed still ahead of Benzine. Kanar has actually managed to break a bit of a... break that toe now. He's got a bit of a gap over Hollywood. Hollywood now 1.4 seconds off the back of him. Then we have Wesley in 5th place. 4.3 seconds off the back of Hollywood. But he's also got a 2.2 second, 2.5. Wow, he's got a huge lead. What happened to Fluffy Butt there? Fluffy Butt must have had a mistake there through the final turn. It looks like he's now coming under pressure from Pasty. I've seen that Fluffy Butt's having some issues up ahead maybe. He's looking to take advantage now. Pasty in the 911 GT3. Fluffy Butt managing to keep that gap fairly consistent though. He's managed to eke out a couple of attempts. Then we have Pung in 8th place, followed by his teammate Patch there in 9th. And these guys are going to work together to try and get onto the back of Pasty. They've got a bit of a gap there though. It's 7.6 at the moment. Oh, Pung. That was a good recovery there from Pung. Looked like he almost lost the rear. His teammate Patch did well not to run into him there. Oh, we've just got a yellow flag. Must be a car somewhere. Auto Ration there in 10th place. We've got Hurricane in 11th. Kenny is in 12th. Burnsy Poo in 13th. Chris down in 14th. And what was that yellow flag? Oh, was it Fluffy Butt? Fluffy Butt, he's got damage. What happened to Fluffy Butt? He's dropped now down to 10th place. He had damage on that Alpha. Is that our final turn? Oh, somebody up ahead. Screeching at the tyres. Oh wait, what? Fluffy Butt. Is this wheel DC? Oh, I don't know if Fluffy Butt's having some mechanical issues or something. Something's gone on there. Meanwhile, Ahmed now under attack from Emzine. Emzine is looking for an opening to try and slip past the M6 in the RX Vision. Ahmed's going to have to hug that inside line. He's moved over onto the racing line right at the last moment. Definitely feeling the pressure now from Emzine behind him. Emzine all over his gearbox. Little flash of the headlights there, just to let him know he's there. Or it might have just been the weird LED headlights on that RX Vision. Ahmed doing a cracking job at the moment of leading the race. He only lost the lead momentarily, didn't he, in the early stages to Fluffy Butt, who I believe has maybe had some weird mechanical issues or something. Perhaps his wheel's disconnected, not too sure. He's now left the room, so yeah, I think that's probably what's happened. So we're now on board with Emzine chasing down Ahmed, trying to take the lead of the race away. Emzine holds the fastest lap at the moment of 38.092. Not close enough on that occasion. I think at the moment he's just trying to pressure Ahmed into some kind of an error. Make him run a little bit wide somewhere, open that door up so he can get a move done. Ahmed's still doing a fantastic job of keeping the RX Vision behind him. Couldn't be any closer between these two guys. Emzine keeps pulling out, showing Ahmed the nose of the RX Vision. Ahmed knows he means business. But that M6 just looks too planted. What a fantastic show of racing though from these two guys. We'll check in with the rest of the field in a minute, but yeah, the battle at the front is really starting to heat up. Beautiful shot there, back to Emzine. Chasing down Ahmed, trying to seize an opportunity. Right, Emzine. Yeah, he's not going for an either, is he? No, not close enough. Look how controlled he is on the brakes though, like he kept it so close to Ahmed's rear bumper through turn one, like you just, yeah, incredible show racing from these two at the front here. It's just going to be a matter of which one makes a mistake first, I think, isn't it? But it doesn't look like either of them are going to. And you'd think this battling would bring them back into the clutch of Kanata, but that gap is starting to stretch. These guys are actually pulling away from the rest of the field at the moment. Two apps. Oh, and Emzine sees this opportunity now. He's looking for a move around the outside, Ahmed. Is he going to lose that position, Emzine? Oh, I think he's going to manage to get it. Oh, Ahmed. Emzine has managed to take the lead of the race. So Ahmed, that was unlucky, dude, but you still live to fight another day. Don't let him get away. Just keep on him. Should we be able to force him into a mistake? So Emzine is now up into first place. He's trying to create a bit of a gap now to Ahmed, but I don't think he's going to be able to get away from Ahmed in that M6. The M6 is absolutely rapid, isn't it? And the combination of Ahmed and the M6, forced to be reckoned with. We got Kanata there in third place, now 4.6 seconds off the back of Ahmed. We got Hollywood still there in fourth, off the back, 1.7 seconds off the back of Kanata. Then we got Wesley in fifth. We have Pasti now in sixth place. In a bit of no man's land at the moment. He is 7.1 seconds off the back of Wesley, and he's got an 8-second lead over Pumpkin Patch. Or Patch, back in 7th place. Then we have his teammate Pung there in 8th. Auto Ration now up to 9th place. Hurricane is down to 10th. We got Burnsy Poo up to 11th. Kenny now down in 12th. We have Chris there in 13th. And obviously Fluffy Butt, I think he had the wheel disconnect. So we have one retired driver. But now Emzine looking to try and create a bit of a gap over Ahmed. Come on, Ahmed. What a move that was, though, from Emzine. He was just waiting for the opportunity, wasn't he, to be able to get a move done. And just a little twitch from Ahmed gave Emzine the bait that he needed to be able to get past. And he took the bait, didn't he? He's now 1.4 seconds up the road from Ahmed. But Ahmed might be going for a long one once again. And Emzine looking like he's going to have to stop a lot earlier. Ahmed's still got half a tank of fuel. Just over halfway through the race. So Kanata still 1.8 seconds ahead of Hollywood. Hollywood looking like maybe he's starting to make a push in these last couple of stages before he has to pit again. He's only got a couple of laps left in that tank. And his tyres looking a little bit shot at the moment as well. Then Wesley also in a little bit of no man's land. In 5th place, he's got a 5-second gap up to Hollywood. He's also got a nice bit of breathing space over Pasti in 6th place. 7.5 seconds is the gap there. So Pasti in the only Porsche in Lobby B. We've got a few Supras, haven't we? So Pumpkin Patch there in 7th place. Still backed up by his teammate Pung there in 8th. Auto Ration still in 9th. Hurricane in the GR Supra in 10th. We got Burnsy Poo. Oh, but actually, no, Burnsy Poo, sorry, is also in a Porsche. There in 11th place. Okay, I'm not sure what happened to Kenny. I don't know if he pitted out of... I can't think of the word. The word's not coming to me. Out of sequence. Or if he's had a mistake somewhere. But he was doing alright, wasn't he? In the early stages. And then Chris, unable to close that gap to Kenny. Come on, Chris. I think he's actually pitted once again, so he may get the overcut, sorry, or the undercut. Emzine, though, now with a 2.9 second lead over Ahmed. Ahmed's had a cracking race so far, hasn't he? Can't beat himself up too much. I think he's still got tricks up his sleeve. As I say, Emzine is going to have to pit a lot earlier. We've seen Ahmed can go quite long in that M6, so we'll have to see what happens. Kanata will be heading to the pit in a matter of laps if he doesn't head in this time, and he stayed out. But yeah, it's got the flashing fuel indicator warning. Has come up. Still managing to keep that gap consistent back to Hollywood. Hollywood hasn't managed to close it up yet. He will also be having to pit probably end of this lap, I would assume. Wesley is going to get a few more laps out of that car, out of that tank of fuel. I think he went and had a fairly late pit stop as well, as did Pasty, now in 6th. So yeah, everybody seems to be like settling into their respective positions at the moment. There's some fairly sizable gaps on track. We're going to have to keep a good eye out for the battles. Oh, Ahmed with a moment. Come on, Ahmed. Lapse of concentration maybe from Ahmed. Oh, and again. What's going on, Ahmed? I need to find my TV remote before the TV turns itself off and the stream. There we go. Ahmed having a few moments there. We see a few of the other guys now starting to dive into the pits. So yeah, Kanata and Hollywood are both into the pits. I did predict that. Emzina stayed out. He's going to have a few more laps left in that Mazda RX Vision, but definitely not as many as Ahmed has in the M6. Wesley stayed out. We saw that, didn't we? He was down in 5th place. Managed to move now up to 3rd. Pasty's followed through. He's up to 4th place. Pung now up to 5th. Rati on there in 6th, and Patch down in 7th now. Lap 28 of 45. $17 to go. Or just under 17 to go. Interesting. I wonder if any of these guys are going to be able to take. I don't think that's enough fuel to get to the end of the race. 18 laps. Pung with a bit of a moment there. Ration starting to catch up to him, but he's on the racing softs, and he's really used a lot of the rubber on them racing softs. Also, with not as much fuel left in that tank, you would assume that he's going to go in the next couple of laps. Them softs can't be feeling very nice at the moment. He's still looking not too bad. He's still keeping that gap, isn't he, up ahead to Pung. Looking like he may be able to get the overtake done. He's in the Renault as well. He looks like he's losing a lot of speed down the start finish. That Supra just starts to pull away, but then he makes it back up through the corners. This might actually be one of the closest battles on track at the moment. So we've got Kanata re-emerges after his pit stop in 9th place. So it'll be interesting to see where the other guys come out. I think he'll be taking them tyres and that fuel to the end of the race as well, as will Hollywood, who's come out in 10th. Burnsy Poo still yet to pit. Kenny there in 12th, and Chris in 13th. So MZ now with a 5.4 second lead over Ahmed. almost consistent 139s on the board. Ahmed with a lot of 49s, but also dipping into the 140s here and there. In fact, a 141 on the board as well. But Ahmed doing a cracking job at the moment. He's managed to create a 12.4 second lead over the rest of the field, which is going to help him coming into the dying stages of this race. Obviously, I'm sure he's going to have to pit once again. I don't think he's going to be able to go for a one stop. I don't think it was ever on the cards. I think everybody probably going for 2 stops. Some people may even attempt a 3. Sometimes you've got to try some out of the box things, haven't you? Sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't. "15 laps to go." Make that 14 for Ahmed. Oh, and Ahmed now into the pits. Wait, what? Interesting. So Emzine stayed out. So Ahmed looking for the undercut now on Emzine. He's surely going to come out in traffic though, isn't he? As Wesley's moved through now to 2nd place. We're going to have Pasty. I think Pasty's going to come into the mix there as well. I think Ahmed, what's he going to come out on? Surely he's not going to take softs to the end. Did he take softs for 15 laps, 14 laps? He is. Ahmed coming out on the softs. He's brought the big guns out. MZ now with an 18.5 second lead over the rest of the field. He will surely pit in the next lap or 2, but it's on now. I think he will surely go for softs as well. Wesley up to 2nd place, but he is going to have to pit in the next few laps. We got Pasty now up to 3rd place, but he will also have to pit in the next few laps. So Ahmed sitting pretty at the moment in 4th place. He's got his last pit stop done. He's now on a fresh set of softs. He's going to be looking to bang out them purple laps. But also I'm sure he's going to be trying not to use them up too soon. There's going to be a little bit of time management in there as well. So Emzine is now into the pits. Wesley is going to become your new race leader. And there he goes up into 1st place. Pasty chooses track position as well. He is going to become new race leader as well at some stage. MZ now comes out of the pits. He is only just ahead of Ahmed. So this is the battle here for 1st place. Ahmed versus Emzine. Emzine comes out just on the gearbox there of Pasty. Pasty's going to be holding him up a little bit. That's going to be bringing Ahmed back into the mix surely. Come on, Ahmed. Emzine is also on the racing softs. He's opted for fresh racing softs. Presumably they've done testing. They know they will take him to the end of the race. As Emzine goes for the move now up the inside, there's a little bit of door banging, but he gets the move done. Pasty down to 2nd place. But that was what Emzine needed to do. He needed to get past Pasty early doors. Ahmed's managed to get it done as well. I think Emzine and Ahmed actually are teammates, so yeah, Pasty Moving out the way there for Ahmed, allowing him through to try and start to launch an attack on Emzine up ahead. And hopefully Pasty will be able to assist him. But I think Pasty is due a pit stop, isn't he? In the next lap or two. Yeah, he is. Going to try and stick with his teammate though. Maybe offer him some moral support. So you can see there, Wesley currently sat in first place. He's got an 11.9 second lead, but he's going to lose that once he pits. So Emzine is your true race leader at the moment. Followed by Ahmed. Ahmed looking to close that gap now. Come on, Ahmed. Come on, BMW. Yeah, the BMWs have looked very quick indeed around Mount Fuji this evening. The only other car really on par with them seemed to be the Mazda RX Vision, driven by Emzine. We'll see Emzine on a qualifying ban from last week, so he's ended up in Lobby B, so he should surely be in Lobby A. I think it was Porto though touched on Ahmed not being in Lobby A this week. But he's got somebody to fight now in the way of Emzine. Oh, Emzine screeching them tyres. Sounded like he slid through that final turn. Definitely lost a couple of attempts there to Ahmed. Come on, Ahmed. Ahmed with a bit of a run now. Down the start finish. He's surely going to be getting sucked off down the straight by Emzine. And he closes right up through the braking zone. Only 4 attempts in it now between these two guys. Oh yeah, Wesley will be going into the pits this time round. You would assume. Let's hope he doesn't run out of fuel before he finishes his lap. But Emzine now definitely under pressure from Ahmed. Emzine still unable to break away. Ahmed giving it all he's got in the M6. Lap 34 off 45. And there you go, Wesley now into the pits. Emzine will become race leader once again. Ahmed moves up into second place. Ahmed closing right up through the braking zone once again. Looking like he's really trying to go for it now. You can take it away from Emzine. He has come from the back of the grid. Managed to make his way all the way through to the front. Now having a battle of epic proportions with Ahmed. And these guys now with a 19.5 second lead over the rest of the field. Yeah, these two guys here definitely should be in Lobby A. For sure, 100%. Ahmed looking for the move now. It looked like he was going to be having a cheeky look up the inside into the final turn, but it wasn't to be on that occasion. In fact, I think he's made the better decision here, sticking behind in that slipstream. He will now surely be looking for the move up into turn 1. He managed to get that beautiful move done earlier, didn't he? And he is. Pulls out onto the inside. Emzine looking for the switch back. Almost gets it done. Rolls a reverse now though. Ahmed now under the pressure of Emzine. What can he do? Can he manage to break away from Emzine? Emzine still the fastest lap at 1:38.092. Oh, Ahmed a little bit wide on the exit there. Not picking up a penalty though. And actually 1/10 purple through that sector. You've got to assume though Emzine will probably be purple through that sector as well. He's right on Ahmed's bumper. And looking for the move now. What a place to go for a move. Has he managed to get it done? I don't think he's going to. Ahmed's going to have the inside for this next one. Ahmed retains that first place. What a cracking bit of driving from these two. Still, Emzine putting the pressure on. It's an absolute pressure cooker out there. There's only a few tenths in it still between these two at the front, Ahmed and Emzine. Ahmed trying to create a bit of breathing space now. The gap floating around the 5 tenths mark. He's doing a good job of it at the moment. I don't know how both of them managed to hold it through there. Kudos to the pair of them. Yeah, you can see Ahmed doing everything he can to try and keep Emzine behind him, extending as much as he dare. You don't want to do it too much though. Like if you get a bit of that grass, then yeah. Oh no. Emzine into the back of Ahmed on the braking. He was so good on the brakes earlier. Didn't quite judge it quite right that time round. He's actually helped Ahmed out. He's now given him a couple of tenths gap. It's up to 7 tenths. So Ahmed still in first place, Emzine there in second place, but they have a 20.5 second gap over the rest of the field. Wesley in third, Kanata in fourth, Hollywood fifth. Hollywood only 6 tenths off the back of Kanata now. I think this may turn into a battle ever so shortly. Then we have a 15.1 second gap back to Pasti. Pung is there in 7th place. We've all got Auto Reti on now up to 8th place. Patch is down to 9th. We got Hurricane and Burnsy Poo looking like they're having a little bit of a battle now in 10th and 11th. What can Burnsy Poo do? Putting Hurricane under some pressure. I don't know if they've lost that position or if they've just gone to the back of Hurricane. We've been focusing on the front for such a long time now. But it looks like Ahmed may be under a little bit of pressure once again, as Emzine does take the lead of the race into turn 1. We have to check in on that. Kenny then 12th and Chris in 13th. So Emzine has taken the lead of the race once again through turn 1. Ahmed still right on his gearbox though. A little bit of a twitch there on the exit of that turn. Them softs are going to be starting to feel a little bit second hand for both of the drivers. Emzine's a couple of laps younger than Ahmed's. Ahmed went for the undercut this time around. Went for the overcut on the previous one. Oh, come on, Ahmed. Come on, Ahmed, don't give up, bro. So Emzine has started to create a bit of a gap now. He's actually starting to pull away. Or at least he was. Yeah, he still is down the start finish. How is that possible? As I say, looking at the gap, back to third. You'd assume these two guys would have been in Lobby A anyway, but Ahmed put on an absolutely cracking display, keeping up with Emzine. Emzine coming from all the way from the back. Obviously he was on a quali ban from last week. Now there's 1.6 seconds in it, then 20.3 back to Wesley. So Wesley currently sat in third place. He's got the third slot on the podium, or third step on the podium. Kanata still with a gap back to Hollywood, 1.3 seconds. What can Kanata do? It actually looks like Kanata maybe going for a bit of a late push. You can still see Wesley up ahead. Can he be able to shake things up for the final slot on the podium? He was up there at one point, wasn't he? He was up in third place for so long. I think Wesley only managing to get ahead of him due to different pit strategies. Hollywood doing a great job holding that fifth place, and he is starting to eat into that gap up ahead to Kanata. What can he do as they come down the start finish for the 40th time this evening? Start of lap 41 for Hollywood. And yeah, not making as big an impact as I thought he might in the Supra down the straight. So the M6 still looking like it may be the car to beat the Pasty. Well, the M6 and the RX Vision. Pasty there in 6th place. Looked like he had signs of damage on his car. Where am I seeing things? Yeah, he's definitely got damage on that front right hand side. 13.3 seconds off of Hollywood, currently stands 6th, 4 seconds ahead of Pung in 7th. Auto Ration and Patch now having a bit of a battle for 8th place. Patch in the GR Super looking to take that position away from Auto Ration in the Renault. Auto Ration doing a great job of defending at the moment though. Patch, will he have a look around the outside now into Dunlop? Not on that occasion. Oh, Kenny has finally caught up to Chris. Kenny now looking for the move on Chris. So battle for 11th place. That might bring Burnsley Poo into the mix as well. Burnsley Poo down to 13th. You can only assume these guys maybe having a coming together somewhere. Kenny still looking for the move up the inside now. Almost gets it done. His tyres are going to be absolutely dead come the end of this race. And he's having a look up the inside now. He sends one. Oh no, there was contact, was there? Actually stopping the car on the apex. I think there was a bit of a concertina there with Burnsley Poo. Burnsley Poo now drops down to 1.4 seconds behind. Yeah, he's got signs of damage on his car. So Kenny now 7 tenths between him and Chris. Chris with a bit of breathing space once again. Hurricane 10.2 seconds ahead of both of them. Auto Ration has lost that place now to Patch. Patch now 7 tenths up the road. Auto Ration down to 9th. Patch is up to 8th. Then we have Pung. Pung in a bit of no man's land. Pasty unable to close that gap to Hollywood. Hollywood now 2 seconds off the back of Kanata. Wesley still valiantly holding on to that 3rd place. And then we have Ahmed still holding that 2nd position. He's got a nice bit of breathing space. He could just go for another set of tyres probably if he wanted to. Emzine in 1st with a 4-second lead. Looking like everybody's kind of settled into their positions now. Them 2 guys at the front coming up to start lap 44 or 45. These guys have still got to come through the final sector. Wesley, Kanata, Hollywood. Quite a gap back to Pasty, Pung, and then quite a gap between Pung, Pumpkin and Ration. Then we have Hurricane, Chris, Burnsley Poo, and Kenny. Kenny now finds himself down in 13th position. I think that's due to that tyre. That front left-hand tyre absolutely gone now. It has left a chat. I think if you want to go and get them changed, it'd definitely void your warranty. So Emzine looking like he's done enough to take the win on lap 44 or 45 in this endurance race. He's come from the back of the field, so from 14th place all the way up into first. He's now created a 5-second lead over Ahmed, who started on pole. There we go, starts, Enzine starts the final lap now in first place. Ahmed, as I say, he started on pole. He lost that position momentarily to Fluffy Butt. Fluffy Butt managed to take it away from him. He kept it for a number of laps, but then Ahmed, with an absolutely corker of a move up the inside of turn 1, managed to retake the lead for such a long time. I think it was definitely up to the pit stop, wasn't it? Definitely up to the first, maybe even the second pit stop. But eventually, MZ managed to carve his way through the field up to the position that he's in now, which is still first place. Oh, sick individual says Halex winning both lobbies. Oh, so they won in the first lobby as well, have they? So Emzine will come through the final sector for the penultimate turn, now into the final turn. And he's going to be fairly happy with that, isn't he? I mean, obviously, only here due to a quali ban. I assume he'll probably be in Lobby A, free qualifier next week. But there we go, he's going to cross the line and take the checkered flag in first place. What an Emzine, GG's, mate. Ahmed, absolutely cracking display of racing from Ahmed this week. Second place, Wesley. You can't beat yourself up, Ahmed. That was beautiful, mate. You did some beautiful racing. Wesley, absolutely cracking strat there from Wesley. He's going to bring it home on the third step of the podium. Kanata will finish in fourth. We've got Hollywood. Hollywood comes home in fifth place. GG Hollywood. Pasty will round out the top 6. GG's Pasty. What a mate. Then we have Pung. Pung's going to come home in 7th position. His teammate Patch will finish in 8th. GG Patch. Auto Ration will bring home in 9th place. GG's mate. Thank you for hosting the lobby as well. Hurricane finishes in 10th position. Chris is going to round out the PBR boys in 11th place. Then we have Burnsy Poo in 12th. And Kenny, last but not least, in 13th. And then obviously we had the, I'm pretty sure it was a wheel issue from Fluffy Butt. So, yeah. That was unlucky, Fluffy Butt. You had a really good start there. It was doing really well. I wondered what was going on. Obviously, we didn't see the moments that you did have, but I knew you lost some time somewhere. And then we saw you come off, and I can only assume that was due to your wheel disconnecting or something, because it was very, very bizarre indeed. But anyway, guys, that was it for this week's Esports. I'll be back, obviously, tomorrow night with the League 1 guys from the Aero League Racing's GT7 Championship. This has been the Aero League Racing's Esports Series, Round 4 at Mount Fuji. I've been your boy Vexed. I've been your boy Vexed. Good night.